Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mopping Up Milk podcast, the podcast where we clean up after ourselves. My name is May, I am your host, and I hope you're having a lovely day. There, I said it. And welcome back. We made it to episode 3, guys. Little pat on the back to you guys for being back here for week 3. I've got a lot of stuff to discuss today. I've just come off the back of a lovely little date night with my boyfriend Tommy, so I'm feeling good. I am ready to spill the tea this week, actually. Let's just go straight into it. I hope you had a good week, but I am ready to spill some tea, and that tea is to do with my apartment complex. Let's get on into the weekly spill. Okay, guys, I have some tea to spill with you this week. I briefly mentioned last week, but this weekly spill is just sort of a recap of my week that was and just some just updates and whatnot. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss with you this week is some drama that is happening in my apartment complex. I was baffled when I walked into my lift the other day. I can't remember what day it was. It was on Monday. On Monday, I walked into my lift, and as you go into the lifts in our building, there's just mirrors on the back wall, so like perfect for your, daily outfit, selfie, whatever, OTDs. We got them covered, but the mirror was not just clear and beautiful and clean. This fine Monday, there was like an A4 sheet of paper, bulletin. Oh my God. How do I explain this? How do I do this justice? I walk in and there's an A4 piece of paper sticky taped onto the mirror in the lift. And I walk a little closer. I'm like, what is this? Like sometimes they put notices in there, like when they're doing window cleaning so that everyone's aware when it's happening. But this was screenshots and receipts of some drama that had gone down in my building. Crazy. So I'm going to read it out to you. To the resident in level 12 that inadvertently took home a green pillow from the foyer in the ground area, could you please return it immediately to its original place by tomorrow morning to avoid further actions? Management team. And there's literal screenshots from the security camera of a female and a male taking this pillow and their faces plastered all over our lifts. And I went downstairs and this same printout is plastered on the mail rooms and like every door and entrance that someone has to walk through to get into the building. So these 2 people have been outed for stealing a green pillow from the lobby. I just can't cope. Like the audacity of the management team to just out them and just like plaster their face all over the building. It is so funny. Oh my God. I hope that my building gets justice and the pillow gets returned to that couch because holy shit, that is hilarious. They've like screenshotted them like in action of holding the pillow and then them walking into the lift. It's so funny. I just can't deal with the dramas. Just hilarious. I can't believe the management has just plastered their face all over every single crevice of the building. Oh my God. And the tea is that the pillow still hasn't gotten put back. Like it's Friday now and they didn't return it the following morning. So they haven't avoided the further action. I don't know what's happening. I need an update. I have a little weigh-in with my building manager because she is obsessed with Pino, my dog. So maybe next time I see her and she wants to pat my dog, I'll be like, did you end up finding the culprits that stole the green pillow? I don't know. I need to know an update and I'll try my best. I'll try my best to get you guys an update for the podcast next week. Hopefully the pillow gets returned and justice is restored in my building. But yeah, I just thought it was really funny and just kind of wild that their faces were plastered all over the walls. And the thing is that this girl's face kind of looks like me when she's looking down, but like she had like a sleeve of tattoos. So like, it's obviously not me, guys. But I'm scared that when I'm walking around that people might think it's me. And like, I'm like, it's not me, guys. I'm not the girl. I'm not the one you're looking for. Oh God. I've actually got anxious to the point where I make sure that I'm wearing a t-shirt when I go downstairs, or if I'm wearing a jumper, my jumper's not on. I have my arms out, my bare arms, so you can see I don't have a sleeve, because I don't want anyone in my building to think I'm stealing pillows. I can't have it. It's not on my record. I can't have it on my record. I have a good reputation in this building, guys. I can't let my neighbors think I'm stealing pillows. So yeah. So that happened. That's the first thing I wanted to start with this week. Second of all, I have something else I have to run you guys through something that happened last week, and it's quite serious for me. It could have had serious implications on mine and my partner's relationship. And let me just run you through what happened. So last weekend, I went down to my family's place for the night for my sister's 30th birthday. Happy birthday, sister. I love you. Shout out. So we go down, and when we go down, they live about an hour and, two hours from the city. So when we go down, we'll stay the night. So we're staying the night at my parents' house, myself and my partner, Tommy, and we go out for dinner. It's so lovely. Beautiful sunset that night, actually. That was the night everyone was posting sunsets on their stories, and it's like, we get it. We can all see the sky. But I also posted, so guilty. But not guilty for stealing pillows. So we go out for this lovely Japanese dinner. We come home, and everyone's still kicking. Everyone's like, what should we do, guys? So it's myself, my parents, Tommy, and my 3 sisters. And we're sitting around in the lounge room. Dad thought it was a lovely idea to whip out the family tapes, like the family camcorder, the family. Oh my God. Okay, so Dad gets out the cassettes. Yes, I said that right. Cassettes. You heard me. And he puts the cassettes into the little reader, and he's just like, oh, let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? And I'm like, holy shit. Here we go. My boyfriend is going to see the real me. The gig's up. We're all going home. Shit. I have gone 2 years avoiding showing my boyfriend these tapes. And last Saturday was the night. So the 30th birthday turned into a viewing party of Watch the Earth, the documentary I made when I was 8 years old and made my 5-year-old sister run around with the camcorder, telling her what to do. Let me break it down for you. I used to be obsessed with being in front of the camera. I was look at me child. I was the pick me. I was the attention seeker. That was me. So I decided as a young 8-year-old to make a documentary about watching the Earth. I used to live next to a park where plovers used to swoop. You know those swooping birds? Yeah, they used to live and inhabit that park that I used to live next to. So I decided it was a good idea to give my little 5-year-old sister the camcorder and run around in the park with a mop, trying to aggravate the birds to show them on camera and do a documentary David Attenborough style. So, there was lots of me. Oh no, it's so embarrassing, guys. Yeah, anyway, there was a theme song that I screamed into the camera. There was me telling my sister, did you press record? Just being really bossy and just being a whack little 8-year-old. So my boyfriend got to witness that. And he's still with me, guys. How amazing is that? He's a real one. But then it got to the Christmas tapes. And I was like, oh, hang on. I thought I was in the clear. I was like, what else have I really done that's really that embarrassing other than my documentary about swooping birds? But no, there was Christmas. That year when I wrote my own original song about going to the moon. Yep, still 8 years old. Wrote a song about going to the moon and the stars and sang it in front of my whole family Christmas. There's video evidence of that, and he watched that. So yeah, Tommy's been quoting my documentary and singing my original song all week. So that's been so lovely. Yeah. Round of applause. Pray for me. That's all I have to say. Pray for me. I'm scared he can't look at me the same. But, we move. It is something I need to accept. Anyway. The funny part about me telling you all of this is that we're actually going down again this weekend for my dad's birthday. So I am praying and crossing my fingers that the Sydney 2004 family holiday tapes don't come out, because those ones, I'm not the biggest fan of. Let's just say that. If you can imagine me making a documentary and singing an original song, mind you, I'm not the best singer. I don't even want to tell you what's on the Family Holiday Sydney 2004 tapes. And oh my God. When Dad just thought it was the best thing, Mum thought it was the best thing. The family was in hysterics watching these videos. And I was like, oh yeah, this is funny, guys. Laugh it up. Yep, cool. Yep. And then when we were leaving my parents' house last weekend, Mum goes, oh, we'll have to whip out the tapes again next weekend. You've got to watch them all. And I'm like, does he? Does he really? Does he need to watch all the tapes? Anyway, we move, guys. We move. Hopefully, just pray for me for this weekend. Fingers crossed Sydney Family Holiday doesn't get whipped out. But yeah. Another thing that happened this week is that I am officially a green thumb, guys. I have a green thumb. It's turning green. I have chilies sprouting. Wait, is that what you say? I don't know. I don't have all the terminology down for my green thumbness yet. But I have chilies on my chili plant. Another round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, chilies are coming in and my other houseplants are thriving. They're growing new leaves. I'm loving it. I have realized though, coming into the new year, that my houseplants are thriving because I am thriving. I've noticed a correlation between the plant's health and my mental health. If the plants are doing well, generally my mental health's great and I'm remembering to water them. But when they're not looking so good, it kind of directly reflects me and my mental state and how I don't want to do anything. So they sort of cop the brunt of that. 2024, it's looking up. We're starting with healthy plants and we're hoping to end with healthy plants. Am I right, ladies? All right. Lastly, as I mentioned just before, I went on a date night tonight. It was the first night of the NGV extra triennial. Oh, I can't say this word, guys. Babe, how do I say is it triennial? Yeah. So just asked Tommy from the other room. Went to extra triennial tonight. Went to extra triennial tonight at NGV. It was the first, It was the first at night one for, why aren't I Englishing? So yeah, went to the opening night of extra triennial tonight at NGV. It's open at nighttime until something like the 28th of Jan. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I highly recommend going. It's free entry and everything. It's such a good experience. We had such a fun time. Very cute. It's a fun date night idea as well because it's like literally free. Why not? You can buy drinks and walk around. Very cute. I didn't buy drinks, guys, because I'm trying to drink less, but it was a sleigh to say the least. Woo, we got through the weekly spill, guys. We got through it. Sleigh. Let's get into what we're talking about today. I briefly discussed last week about how I'm kind of going through a little bit of a quarter life crisis. That's what I'm calling it, regarding my career. And I ended up leaving that note on just because one aspect of my life isn't put together doesn't mean my whole life is a mess. But I just wanted to dive into and give a bit more context to my whole quarter life crisis because I feel like it is relatable for a lot of people my age regarding their career and how they feel about it. I feel like sometimes this is a little bit hard for me to articulate because I'm still working through it in my own brain, but I'm treating this like a brain dump and a little bit of a diary, so that's what we're going to get. Why don't we start with this fact? The average person tends to go through 3 to 7 career changes before they retire. Great place to start because say I retire in my late 60s, I am currently 25. I have barely even begun my career or what my life is going to turn out to be. I have just had an epiphany, guys. I haven't made that comparison before. I'm 25, and if I retire in my late 60s, that means I have so many years ahead of me. I've literally only got, my career, quote unquote, started when I was 18. I've only been in the game for 7 years. I've got so much life ahead of me to change into as many different career paths as I want to. I'm in the infancy stage of what will be my career. I think I need to stop putting so much pressure on myself to be super successful right now. I'm successful in the way that right now I'm putting out a podcast every week. I'm determined and self-disciplined to do so. I may not be working at a company where I am trying to climb the corporate ladder and progress my career that way. I just have a different path than those people do. And that is okay. Moral of the story, I am comparing myself to people who aren't even in the same space as me or want to be in the same space as me, and I need to stop doing that. I feel as though at the moment we are surrounded by this whole hustle culture. I'm going to call it a phenomenon. I feel as though every time I open TikTok, every second video is someone explaining their 5 till 9 before their 9 till 5, and I wake up at this time every morning just so I can achieve this, this, and this before I work for someone else. And that is all well and good. But I think that it's what we do with that information or how we consume that information that can be a little bit toxic. Like, I can admit that I'm guilty of scrolling through there and going, oh, hang on, this person's waking up at 5 a.m. They're going for a run. They're working out. They're working on their side hustle all before 9 a.m. And then I go, oh shit, maybe I need to be doing that. So I try and wake up at 6 a.m. I try and go exercise and I try and work on myself before 9 a.m. But the reality is I'm not a morning person. I don't like to work out in the morning, and I feel too tired in the morning to work on something else. My brain's not awake. So that doesn't work for me. It might work for someone else, but it doesn't work for me. And I need to realize that I need to stop comparing myself to these people who are quote unquote hustling for their own lives. You know, I can do that. I can hustle, but I need to do it in a way that suits me and works for my life. I think being surrounded by this hustle culture online really sometimes can make people compare themselves to others a lot. And I feel as though that is something that can spark a little quarter life crisis in my case. Feeling as though that I'm not as far as I should be in a career. I'm not working on myself as much as I quote unquote should be. But as I said before, if I'm retiring in my late 60s, I'm only 25. I've got so much life to live. And I've got so many things to learn. I might change my career 7 times, like the average person. You know, like, what am I worried about going to study for a year at 25? Can you tell I'm like talking myself into this right now? Don't worry, I'm still battling with myself about all of these things, but I'm just hoping that speaking about this can sort of help someone that might be listening realize that it's not the end of the world if you don't exactly know what you want to do or what you're trying to do right now. I've gone through so many changes and I'm only 25, but that means I have so many changes to come and so much growth to come. When I finished high school, I moved to Melbourne straight away. I moved 2 hours away from my family and I went to uni. I thought, everyone else goes to uni straight after high school. I need to go to uni straight after high school. So I did that. I got into a course. I studied media and comms. And then I found myself pushing myself to go every day and pushing myself to try and show up and put in my assignments. I ended up deferring for semesters and coming back and deferring and coming back. And at the end of the day, I ended up quitting uni like 3/4 into my degree because it just wasn't for me. Like, that course wasn't for me. And I had a lot going on in my life. Like, it just wasn't the right time. Whilst I was at uni, well, my whole life I've played basketball, but whilst I was at uni, I got scouted for a basketball team to play semi-pro. So I was like, great, this is cool. Let's dive on into this. Basketball literally turned into my personality trait. That's what I identified as, was a basketball player. I trained, I'd train with the team twice a week. I'd play with the team on the weekends, but then I'd train outside of that. And it was so much fun until I ruptured my ACL. I played one season and then ruptured my ACL and tore my meniscus. That is my knee, by the way, if you didn't know. I ruptured the main ligament in my knee, which means you have to go through surgery and then a 12-month recovery. So I went through with the surgery. And then tried to recover, but at the end of the day, couldn't get back to playing the same level. So I didn't get to go back to basketball. And that was a big identity crisis. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what to do with my life. So then I went into admin, worked in admin for a while. Admin wasn't for me. Decided to go back into media, did some content creation. Got a job in content creation. Got made redundant. Did my knee again as well during that time. So the spiral was spiraling. And this happened last year, by the way, the becoming redundant and doing my knee again. So that's why I feel like I'm having a bit of a crisis again, because doing my knee has brought back a lot of memories about how I felt when I first did my knee and how helpless I felt, whatever, yada, 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 feeling sorry for myself. But now I'm trying to come at it from a different perspective this time. I haven't had my second surgery yet. I plan on doing it this year. I'll keep you guys updated. But I feel as though I have an idea of where I want to take my learnings and degree, or not my degree, my career, I guess, my next step, my next move. I'm pivoting. I love doing creative stuff. I love doing media. I love content creation. And that's what this podcast is doing for me right now. I am creating every week. Amazing. But something I also love is the idea of teaching, and I love kids. And I'm like, okay, education degrees are currently government subsidized, so why not go study free for a year? Guys, I got accepted last week. We're going to go study education this year, because why the fuck not? I'm only 25. And I'm going to start saying only 25, not, oh, I'm 25, it's too late. Bitch, I thought I was too old to start dancing. I started dancing last year, because why not? I was 24. I was like, I'm going to start dancing. I thought you had to dance from when you were 8 years old to be able to go to a dance class. The truth is you don't. You can go to a beginner class. It is really hard, but you can go. And I went, and it was fun until I did my knee, and that was really sad because now I can't dance. But we'll get back there, guys. We'll get back there. The moral of the story here is that it's not too late. It is not too late. Guys, I'm sure I'll be trying new things when I'm 30, when I'm 35. Why not keep learning? Life is long. Until it's not. But anyway. Why not just keep learning, keep growing? I've decided that right now, I've just decided that I want to have 7 career changes. Why not? It didn't mean that I'm well-versed in lots of different aspects of life. Fun. Means I can learn more. The personal growth that had come from switching careers that many times would be phenomenal. Amazing. Why not? Yeah, going back to study this year. I'm actually really excited about it. I'm going to be studying in the city. Lots of cute coffee shop dates by myself with my little, being studious, mysterious girl in a cafe. And then I've got this podcast. And we'll see where the podcast goes. This is just for fun. And I can treat it like a diary. I'll do brain dumps like this. Hopefully it can help someone that's listening. But if not, hope I entertained you. And we'll just see where we go. I feel as though that little tickle of the creative energy is being itched with this podcast. And I'm going to go try and learn something new this year. Maybe I don't want to end up being a teacher, but hey, I gave it a crack and I'll learn something new, and it's free, you know? If you guys are thinking about studying education, it's free at the moment, so FYI. At the end of the day, I'm just going to keep reminding myself that my success does not lie in someone else's formula. I'm going to stick in my own lane, and I'm just going to do the best with the cards I've been dealt. That's all I can do. That's all you can do, is just live your life how you want to live it. But yeah, that's my little brain dump of the week. Alrighty guys, that is all I have for this week. I am a little tired. It's 11:30 at night on Friday. and I need to get this up by Sunday. So I'm going to go and start editing this bad boy. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining me for another week. I really appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving me on my podcast, on YouTube and on Spotify and on Instagram. It's been really nice. Thank you for interacting and letting me know what you think. I'm still sort of workshopping the structure of the podcast, so I hope that you don't mind. As time goes on, I'll get better at it and the structure will come together. We'll get used to the layout and it'll be good times. But for now, we're working on it. Thank you so much for listening / watching. Wherever you're consuming this podcast, thank you. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder to go over to Instagram and follow @moppingupmilk, and I'm on Spotify and YouTube, so feel free to follow on those platforms as well. It's been real. I'll see you next week for another podcast. Bye guys. Toodles.